Hello everyone, and welcome to another Yoga by Abby class. I am so happy to have you here today. Today we're going to be doing a short and sweet little stretch, kind of just warming up the body and really warming up and loosening the muscles. So this is something you can do from anywhere at any time, whether you're starting the day or ending the day and you just need to stretch. So we're going to get started in a cross-legged seat here. Sitting up nice and tall, roll the shoulders back. Close down the eyes and take a moment to notice where you are. Connecting to your body through the breath. Bringing your awareness to the breath and allowing that to be your main focus in your mind. And if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to set an intention here for your practice or for your day. Anything you need to help you flow through this day with warmth and light and kindness. Take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, letting your shoulders completely drop here. And then softly flutter open the eyes. Take a big inhale and reach your arms up high above you. And as you exhale, plant your right hand down on the mat and extend your left arm up and over for a stretch, bending into that right elbow. Making sure to keep the core engaged without letting everything go. Take another inhale back up to center, really reaching up high. And on your exhale, planting your left palm on the mat, bending into your left elbow and reaching your right arm up and over. Pulling the belly into the spine and making sure to root through both hips and tailbone evenly into the mat. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, release your hands down at your side. Take your fingertips gently to the mat beside you and start to gently roll your neck over to the left, taking gentle rolls all the way through, softly warming up the spine, the head, the neck, and shoulders. And then when you're ready, going the opposite direction, continuing to breathe as you lower the shoulders away from the ears. And then come back up through center. We're going to come up onto our hands and knees here in a tabletop position. From here, untuck your toes, lift your gaze, and open up your chest as you drop your belly. Take a deep inhale. And then on your exhale, pulling your belly in towards your spine and your spine towards the ceiling as you tuck your chin in towards your chest, letting everything out. Inhale, come up to a neutral spine, tuck the toes, and find your way gently into your first downward facing dog. Claw through the fingertips, pedal out the feet, and really focus on finding length in the spine, even if that means your heels are off the mat and your knees are bent. Knit the lower ribs in towards the midline, pulling the belly in and finding length in the spine. Bring your big toes to touch, drop your left heel, and extend your right leg up high. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, shift forward into a high plank, shifting knee in towards your nose, and then stepping your right leg through, and then drop your left heel against the mat, untucking the toes. Square off the hips here as you squeeze the inner thighs towards the midline, and really just focus on your foundation. Making sure that your knee is just in line with the ankle here. You can even take it a little bit further and reach up high. Maybe even arching the spine just a little bit. And then raining the fingertips down, straightening out that front leg as you bend into your left leg. Flex your right foot, continuing to keep the hips squared. And see if you can find length in your spine even here. You may not be able to fold super far, but you'll feel the stretch much deeper and it will keep you safe. Taking deep breaths here. And then rolling forward into your right foot back into that low lunge. Plant the palms and step your right foot back into that downward facing dog. Pedal it out and take some cleansing breaths here. Remembering to claw through the fingertips. Engaging your core. Take your big toes to touch and drop your right heel down towards the mat as you extend your left leg up high. Squaring off the hips. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, shift forward into that high plank position, sending your knee in towards your elbow, and then stepping it through to that low lunge. Drop your right knee. Make sure that your left knee is directly in line with your ankle here. Untucking the back toes. Coming to notice your foundation as you square off the hips. Taking it a little bit further, you can reach your arms up high, maybe even finding a little arch in the spine as you inhale. And then exhale, raining the fingertips down towards the mat, bending into that right leg as you straighten out your front leg, flexing your left foot. See if you can focus on keeping length in your spine and squaring off the hips to feel the stretch a little bit deeper without pushing yourself so far. Take another inhale here, sending your breath to any areas that feel tight or tense. And then gently roll your left foot forward into that low lunge. Come up onto your toes and then step your left foot back into that downward facing dog. Pedal everything out. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, walk your feet up to meet your hands and gently fold forward. Inhale to find halfway lift. Exhale, fold. From here, take a deep inhale as you reach up high towards the sky, coming to stand. And then exhale, folding completely. Resting your torso against your thighs. Letting the head hang heavy. And then from here, step your left leg back behind you and turn your toes and your torso to meet the long edge of your mat. So when we're in this wide-legged forward fold here. You can grab hold of your ankles and shins, or even just rest your hands on the mat or on a block. Folding in deeply towards your legs. It's okay if you have a bend in your knees here as well. And then take your left hand to the mat just outside the outer edge of your right foot and extend your right arm up high towards the sky, really leaning into that right hip. Feeling a deep twist and a stretch all throughout the back of your right leg. Allow your breath to really flow through any areas that don't feel super loose. And imagine your breath loosening all those muscles around that area. And then gently let go Taking your right hand back down to the mat, walking both hands over to your left side. Taking your right hand on the mat just outside the outer edge of your left foot. Extend your left hand up high towards the sky, sinking into that left hip, deepening the twist as we really open up the back side of the left leg. And as you exhale, release your left hand down towards the mat. Come back through center and take a soft bend in your knees, making sure your knees are pointing in the same direction as your toes, warming up the hips. And then turn the outer edges of your feet so that your toes are pointing towards the corners of your mat here, kind of in this deep squat here. And then using your elbows, you can press your knees open as you press your hands together in prayer. Maybe you can even rock a little side to side here. And then straightening back out, walking your toes in a little bit closer, almost about hip width apart. Hugging your knees in, and then walk your hands over to the front of your mat, turning your toes back to that short edge there. And you can step back into a tabletop position, coming back to that cat and cow flow, taking a deep inhale as you roll the shoulders back, dropping the belly, lifting your gaze. Exhale, rounding through, tucking chin into chest, and your spine reaches for the sky. And then come back to that neutral spine. Sink your hips back for a breath, maybe even opening your knees wide and taking your big toes to touch as you melt your arms forward and your chest down towards the earth. Take a deep inhale where you are. And a long cleansing breath out the mouth. Press up onto your hands and knees, back into that tabletop position, and cross your right knee behind your left, and then come to sit with your knees stacked, just like this. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see a little bit better. You want your knees directly stacked over one another, and your feet are out to the side, about the same distance away from your hips. If this is uncomfortable for you, you're welcome to put a folded blanket between your knees or sit up on a block or a blanket. Sit up nice and tall. Reach your arms up high to the sky. Take a big inhale here. And then as you exhale, take your right hand to meet the top of your upper back and your left hand crossing under behind you, maybe even reaching for your right fingertips. And a lot of times we have this habit of really opening up the chest and letting everything go forward when we do a stretch like this. So I want you to focus today on pulling the belly in, tucking the tailbone slightly, and keeping that long length in your spine as you continue to stretch at the same time. You can even take a fold here, keeping this arm stretch going with a flat back as we start to feel the stretch a bit deeper in our legs. Then gently coming back up, unraveling the hands, unraveling the legs, taking your left knee down against the mat and stacking your right knee on top. Just the same thing here. Inhale to reach the arms up high. And then exhale, sending your left hand this time to the upper back and your right arm down and around to reach the fingertips. Maybe even interlacing both fingertips here. Knitting everything in towards the midline. Take your deepest breath yet today. And maybe as you exhale, folding forward to feel this stretch. And then when you're ready, gently coming back up, unraveling the hands and legs. You can take your soles of your feet together in front of you, sitting up tall here, and then just start to roll the chest around, kind of like you're stirring a pot here, pressing away from the opposite knee as you lean over to the other side. Circling through one way, really warming up the lower back here as well as the hips. And then maybe circling the other way. Stirring the pot. Finding what feels good to you. And then come back to that cross-legged position that we started in. Sitting up tall. Take your hands together in prayer at your heart. Close down the eyes, roll the shoulders back. And take this moment to take some deep cleansing breaths and just bring awareness to how beautiful it is to spend just a few minutes focusing on your mind, breath, and body. No matter how much time you spend, whether it's 5 minutes or 55 minutes, you can always gain something from it, and it will always help you to have an even more mindful and positive and abundantly filled day. Take a deep breath as you gently bow your head in towards your hands as a symbol of gratitude for showing up today, making some time for yourself. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in this little class today. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. That helps my channel to grow, as well as if you're able to share it with anyone who you think would benefit from it. My goal is to offer free classes, making yoga accessible to everyone and helping people to discover the joy of mindful movement and how amazing that is to incorporate into your day-to-day lives. I will see you again on the mat very soon. Have a great day.